G'day Church, Steve here, and I'm with Tim Smith. Many of you will know him. He's been with us at MEC for about 10 years. G'day mate, it's great to have you. Thanks for coming to share with us. Just maybe start us off with a bit about yourself, where you're from and what you're up to.
Sure. Thanks, Steve. Yep, my name's Tim. I born and bred out at Narrabri, northwest New South Wales. Had a great upbringing, loving Christian home, and a strong Christian community as well. I got through school, didn't know what I wanted to do, but there was a plumbing apprenticeship available there. So I finished school on the Friday and started my apprenticeship on the Monday, and that's kept me busy for quite a while.
And you're actually in the middle of a midlife crisis career change, is that right?
Yep, absolutely. So for a few different reasons, 2.5 years ago, I started a social work degree. So hopefully all going well, if I keep on passing my courses, hopefully by the end of next year, I'll be finished. So I'm looking forward to that.
What a useful man you'll be, mate, a plumber who's a social worker. Fantastic. Listen, mate, you've been over the years really engaged in looking after some Afghani guys. Tell us a bit about that.
Sure. So quite a while, maybe 9 years ago, something like that. I think it was when we sort of heard through the church's relationship with the school that the school had actually taken on Afghani refugees who had come to Australia as unaccompanied minors, and after living in detention centres, had the opportunity. They had to go into community detention while they were under 18, but because of the choices of Maitland Grosvenor High School, they were able to come to Maitland here and go to school, which was a great opportunity for them. So kind of knew about the guys being at the school. I think we might have had a little bit to do with them, but not a terrible lot. And but basically when they started turning 18, they weren't allowed to live in community detention anymore because of child protection. So even though they might have only been a month or two older than their roommate, or their housemate, they couldn't legally live there anymore. So the school was finding that these guys were just dropping off, couldn't figure out why, and then joined the dots and realised that when they were turning 18, they were actually just leaving town because they had nowhere to live, and they would often end up back in Sydney, living in quite cramped conditions and things like that. So I think that relationship with the school has been a really good thing, but it also gave us an opportunity to, they put the call out to see if MEC could help with accommodation. And it wasn't something that I was interested in really to begin with. But it just happened at the time that I was in a decent sized house just by myself. And so it just, the more I thought about it, the more I prayed about it, the more I realized that it was, this could be a good opportunity. So I thought I'll do it for 3 months and see how it goes. And the last one moved out in January. So 7 years later.
Oh, mate, it was wonderful to see that the guys were getting lessons in driving and they were getting accommodation, and you were helping them with work, and you used to go on holidays with someone too. You had a few wild holidays, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it wasn't just me as well. So this is something that there's probably been 6 different homes from MEC that have welcomed these guys into their homes for various amounts of time. And that's right. So, and not just me, but other people from the church doing things like driving lessons or tutoring. So it's been really a great opportunity for us. And yeah, for sure. Like some of these guys have really become part of my extended family. They're in good contact with my siblings, who they call their siblings, and my parents. So it's you know, for I never could have predicted, you know, what would have happened after all of these years.
Yeah, mate. We've been watching on TV with horror, really, what's been going on over in Afghanistan, and I know you feel really deeply about that. And I just wonder if you could just share with us why it is you feel so deeply about it, and I guess really by extension why you think we as Christians should also feel, we should all feel deeply about this.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first met these guys, I was really I had a very basic understanding of what was going on in their part of the world.
Yes.
And being having that opportunity to join them on that journey, and realizing that these guys, what we're seeing now play out in Afghanistan is what they've experienced already. So
Yeah.
these guys, for them to, I mean, when they came, they were so young. They were really sent. It wasn't a choice. It was a choice by their family or their extended family. And this is after suffering terribly at the hands of terrorists. And so I suppose through just joining them on that journey, understanding their plight, it's really opened my eyes to, you know, to what's happening in another part of the world at quite a personal level. And
Yeah.
some of the general misconceptions are actually really around boat people, for example, are actually really easy to explain. And so I just think that you know, that's been you know, a privilege just to have that experience.
Yes.
I suppose as a Christian, I think we've got that general understanding that we should love and care for the
Yep.
poor and vulnerable in our community. And I just think, you know, these guys certainly fall into that category.
Yes.
I think there's just a theme throughout the Bible of God welcoming people into His family that would be otherwise considered outsiders.
Yes.
And so I just think it's in that way it's quite natural.
Yeah.
And then I think there's another aspect where, you know, often we'll read the word hospitality in the
Yes.
scripture, and we can easily think that that's, you know, inviting our friends, the people that we like and that we get along really well with, back home after church for a barbecue. And but really, when we look at
Right.
you know, the original translation, it's philoxenos, and meaning love for the stranger. We're actually called to love people that are different to us, strangers to our land, people that live by different customs, and we're actually to show them love. And I think there's a temptation to walk in fear, instead of you know, seeing an opportunity that we don't normally get in Australia. We're you know, we're an island. We don't have that much interaction with neighbouring countries, with people coming over the border so easily. I think actually having people fleeing persecution like these guys have, arriving on our doorstep, so to say, is actually an awesome opportunity for the Christian church in Australia.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. All right, mate. I think that's wonderful to hear all that. So thanks so much for sharing, and we'll be talking some more about this over the weeks to come, I'm sure. Okay. See you for now, mate. Thanks. Got to turn this thing off now. There we are. Sorry.